This is Ken Pyle, and we're closing out the MTA show with Brent Christensen. Brent, you guys did something really pretty cool. You used your own dog food, as it were, and had the commissioner, FCC Commissioner Clyburn, in today with Shirley Bloomfield and yourself, of course. A number of things. One of the things that you brought up was this whole idea of, I guess, the economy of scope when you have a community of 900 people versus a community of 1 million, and yet the rates are, they're the same, but the value isn't the same.
Yeah, that's correct, and that's one of the things the Transformation Order has failed to address is the value piece of telephone service. And they're setting a one price or one size fits all, and that's not the way it is. I mean, in my hometown, in my community, I can call 900 people locally. That's a lot different than being up here in the Twin Cities where you can call a couple million people locally, and it's the same price. It's going to be the same price when they're done with it. Yeah.
Well, and you brought up the point too about things that are entirely regulated, entirely different, or not regulated, but the VoIP services, if you will, out there, and how you really can't compete with that right now.
Well, Commissioner Clyburn brought that up, and talking about how services, you've seen the commercials for services you can buy, telephone service for less than $20 a year or $10 a month, and those don't include the broadband connection that's required to make them work. And at the same time, they're not regulated at all. And then they're raising the floor on our services that we can provide. We're trying to provide a value service, and they're raising the levels and making it not valuable anymore. And so, they're clearly trying to move away from landline.
Yeah, and as you point out, and as was pointed out by Shirley, you need that broadband connection for those other kinds of applications, and you also need it for the wireless services that Commissioner Clyburn admitted she was a cord cutter.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the big thing that people don't understand. The only wireless about wireless is from your handset to the tower. It's all the same wired network after that. And same thing, with VoIP services, you have to have a broadband connection to make those work as well.
And so one of the things that one of the audience members wanted to say that she would really like to see the commissioner and probably the other commissioners come out on the road in these rural areas, meet with actual customers.
Oh, absolutely, and we've strongly encouraged that. We've got an open invitation both to FCC levels, to legislative people at the state and the federal level. Yesterday we had the chair of the Minnesota PUC come here. She actually toured the trade show downstairs, and we talked about doing outstate visits with her as well, and the state commission. So I think it's all important. They've got to see what we're doing. It's conceptual until you walk into a small telephone company and see how it's actually happening.
Yeah, until you try to dial out or dial in and you can't connect, you don't see the problem with call completion, right?
Yeah, and when I say conceptual, it really is, it's theory to them.
Yeah.
We're actually putting this in practice and doing this for real, and we're just trying to bridge that gap, that knowledge gap.
Well, and back to the public commissioner, and unfortunately I missed that issues luncheon you had. Maybe you can give a brief highlight of that.
Bev Haydinger is the new chair of the PUC as of last July, and has really done a wonderful job of outreach and trying to get out and talk to people. And she came and spoke at our issues luncheon yesterday and brought a couple of students from Carleton College with her and kind of get us. They're shadowing her, so they're getting a feel for what's going on. And we're really pleased to have her and feel very fortunate to have her. And then, like I said, she came down and some of our members gave her a tour and showed her this is fiber. This is what's going on. This is how we're doing the service. And so it was a good experience for everybody, I think. And it's one of those things that we're trying to do at the MTA to build the gap and to build bridges with the people that regulate us and try to understand each other's positions.
That makes sense, and I think there was a little bit of discussion in that with Commissioner Clyburn as far as the role of the state versus the federal in this new world.
Well, that's one of the reasons I asked that question, because the Transformation Order really appears to be stripping a lot of the powers from the State Commission and making a lot of that irrelevant. So I wanted to get her perspective on that.
Yeah. Well, I guess there's still a lot of uncertainty, and that was actually another topic that was discussed, the whole uncertainty.
Yeah, and that's something that we're dealing with. NARUC, which is the Association of State Commissions, are dealing with that, and we've been trying to find common ground there to get a message across. I tell legislators and regulators all the time, they call them constituents, we call them customers. They're the same people.
Mm-hmm.
We're here to serve the same people.
And that's what it's all about, is service.
That's right.
So
right.
Brent, I really appreciate your service to the industry.
Ken, thanks for being here again.
Thank you.